Let's open Premiere and talk a little bit about color correction and color grading. As you can see here, I have 3 clips on my timeline, and they have a very different expression or color profiles. And it's also very problematic footage, by the way, because this is very red. There is a lot of red in this footage, and in this footage it's actually overexposed. There is a lot of light or sun in the images. First, what I do when I start my color correction is I change my workspace. If you look up here in my workspace menu, I can change to color, and now I have all the panels that I use for my color correction. If you look to the right hand side, there is a panel where I have basic color correction. You can see that I can choose my white balance selector and click it somewhere where I have something that I think should be completely white. And I can also change the temperature on a scale between blue and orange, and I can change my tint on a scale between greenish, green and magenta. I also have the possibility to work with exposure, with contrast, with the black in the image if I think I need to make the black a little bit blacker, and shadows and whites and so on and so forth. Lastly, I have the possibility to decrease or increase the saturation of the colors. Another way to work with color correction is to look, instead of using my eyes to decide what correction or what changes I should do to the color, I could work with something called scopes. So if I go up to my effects control panel, I have something called Lumetri scopes, and these are actually showing wavelength of both my RGB ports or RGB content and also the black and white in the image. And right now I have chosen the waveform, which is the black and white here. I have chosen the parade RGB, which are the red, green and blue content in my image. And then I have a vector scope that shows how the flesh tone is represented in the image. All this is described more in detail in the LinkedIn Learning tutorial in the chapter about color correction and color grading that I shared on Fronda. So please take a look in that chapter if you need more detailed description and you don't remember it from either first semester or you want some more information about it. These are the scopes that are showing me how the color is represented in the shot. And this is actually very helpful to me because sometimes it can be difficult to see with the bare eye what's going on in the footage or in the image. Sometimes it can be helpful to actually look at the RGB scope. And as you can see here in this image, there is a little black here and there, and this is actually represented over here at my wavelengths Luma scope, where you can see 0 is the blackness and 100 is the light or the white in the image. And as you can see, we have very little black in this image. There is black in the beginning and black over here, and it's correlating with black in the left hand corner down at the bottom, and then a little black here. So we might actually increase the black a little bit. Also, we can see here at my parade scopes that there is a lot of red in this image and there is just a little blue, and that the flesh tones actually might be okay. Maybe there should be a little bit down towards this end. Now I'm going to split these two windows so that you can both see my my scopes and my effects. And now I can turn on the correction that I made. It might be a little bit to the faint side, but just to show you an example of how it's looking. If you take a look at both the picture or the image here to the right side, but also at my scopes in the same time, you will see that the red is decreasing, the blue is increasing. And just take a look again, how I have changed the mid tones to be more balanced with more blue and less red. And the way to do that is to go again to the Lumetri color panel in the right hand side and instead choose curves. And in the curves panel you can see that I have, and now again I'm gonna choose, for example, the first clip over here. You can see that I have the option of working with my blue, my green, my red and my white. If I, for example, wanted to increase the red, I have my high tones here, I have my mid tones here, and I have my shadow tones here. And I can just drag, once I have selected the red, I can drag it up to increase it, and to the right to decrease it. I can also, if I do something that I don't want to keep, I can just double click and then it resets or go back to the starting point. So this is the way to work with the curves, to pick the color and then just change the color.